nimekuita wewe kwa jina lako, wewe u wangu. Upitapo katika maji mengi, nitakuwa pamoja nawe. Upitapo katika mito, haitakubeba. Upitapo katika moto, hutateketea. Miale ya moto haitakuguza, maana mimi ni Bwana Mungu wako.
Dial *811 342# to get a hadi.
Sasa pata smartphone mpya ya Tecno Spark 7 kupitia lipa mdogo mdogo. Weka down payment ya 3,000 alafu malipo ya 50 bob kila siku. Piga *544*5# kuona kama unafaulu kujiunga na mpango wa lipa mdogo mdogo kutoka Safaricom.
Habari njema kwa Wakenya wote.
2022 imefika, mwaka wa uchaguzi. Je, umerejista kuwa mpiga kura? IEBC ipo katika wodi yako kutoka tarehe 17 Januari hadi tarehe 6 Februari mwaka huu. Usibaki nyuma, tokelezea na original ID au passport yako kujiandikisha. IEBC inakutambua. Jiandikishe leo.
Projects and sinister schemes in this year's elections. We are tired.
My brother Musalia just acted in a manner typical of a suicide bomber.
Well, tonight on Newsnight, instead of aftershocks, Musalia Mudavadi's earthquake has evoked cheers and jeers in equal measure. Former National Assembly Speaker Kenneth Marende called it political suicide, while Deputy President William Ruto's allies have celebrated the catch. Now, politics of Western Kenya has inundated the headlines. But what exactly is going on? Tonight, legislators Chris Wamalwa from Kiminini, together with Ayub Savula from Lugari, will be live on Newsnight to help us understand what's going on after these top stories. Battle for the Western vote. President Kenyatta in day-long meeting with leaders from Western Kenya after Mudavadi fallout.
I'm sure if we get these people together and they all rally behind the ideology of Azimio la Umoja, we will be able to unite our people.
We are here inspired by a common vision.
More realignments. Mount Kenya Foundation hosts Ma leaders in support of Raila Odinga.
Our party leader Musalia Mudavadi will be going for presidency and nothing else.
All the way to the ballot. Confusion as ANC insists that Musalia Mudavadi is still in the race to State House.
Unajua nyumbani watu tulikuwa tumepanga mazishi on Friday. Sasa watu nyumbani wanangojea report.
Delayed burial. Frustrated families to wait for 2 weeks for DNA analysis to be completed. It's good to see you on this 25th day of January 2022. Many thanks for joining us, and helping me on the broadcast is Wilson Mushora, our sign language interpreter. Remember, 22422 is the SMS line, and the hashtag this evening is Newsnight. Now tonight, civil servants seeking to join elective politics must resign on or before February. And that's because of a ruling that was delivered this evening, where the High Court has maintained that all civil servants must resign 6 months to the general election. The court ruling quashed a petition to extend the stay in office of public officers who were keen on elective seats in the 2022 general election.
Public servants with political ambitions have exactly 2 weeks in office before relinquishing their jobs. All public officers seeking to plunge into politics have to resign at least 6 months to the general elections. In a case seeking to extend the stay of public officers in office, petitioner Eric Omari had argued that the relevant provision of Section 43(5) of the Elections Act of 2011 had a negative impact on youthful aspirants working in government offices. Section 43(5) of the Act states that a public officer who intends to contest an election under this Act shall resign from public office at least 6 months before the date of election. High Court Judge Anthony Murima noted that the case was dealt with by another court 10 years ago, and that the issues raised by Omari were similar to those raised by petitioners then. Judge Murima, who had earlier on the 6th of this month granted orders staying resignations by the 9th of February, consequently threw out the petition. IEBC has gazetted 9th of August as the date for the forthcoming general election, meaning all civil servants seeking political positions must vacate office by the 9th of February. In his ruling, Justice Murima noted that the previous ruling has never been challenged and was thereby deemed final to date. At least 7 cabinet secretaries in President Uhuru Kenyatta's executive harbor political ambitions. Among these include Devolution CS Charles Keter eyeing the Kericho governor's seat, Mining and Petroleum Chief Administrative Secretary John Musonik, who wants to be the Bomet governor, Agriculture CS Peter Munya eyeing the Meru governor's seat, and Lands Chief Administrative Secretary Gideon Mungaro, who wants to succeed Amason Jaffa Kingi as Kilifi governor. Others include Treasury Cabinet Secretary Ukuri Yatani, who wants to retake the Marsabit County top job, Petroleum CS John Munyes, Labour CS Simon Chelugui, and Infrastructure CAS Chris Obure, among others. Sam Ogina, Citizen TV, Nairobi.
All right, and the Senate will on Wednesday and Thursday debate and vote on the Political Parties Act Amendment Bill 2021 that was passed by the National Assembly a fortnight ago. Now, Senate's Legal Affairs Committee, chaired by Nyamira Senator Okongo Omogeni, recommended the passage of the bill in a report tabled in the House. Already, senators allied to Deputy President William Ruto have lined up a raft of amendments to the bill, setting the stage for a showdown with pro-handshake senators. Nandi Senator Samson Cherargei, his Muranga counterpart Irungu Kangata, and nominated Senator Petronila Were are among lawmakers who have submitted their proposed amendments for consideration by the House. Earlier, senators claimed that there were travel freeze orders issued by the executive until senators conclude debate on this bill.
Going about their duties, and sometimes part of their duties involved traveling out of the country, have been stopped at the various border points and being told that there is a directive from the executive that no senator should travel outside the country until we finish consideration of this bill that is before this House.
Assuming, Mr. Speaker, that there is a desire for senators to be in this House to debate any matter, no law obligates every senator to sit in the House. Senator for Kwale was traveling out of the country with his family. He was stopped and sent back home. He didn't travel.
I don't think if there is any problem for any political party to stop their members from traveling if they have an interest in the matter on the floor of the House.
I was speaking with a few colleagues who had a meeting in State House the other day. Mr. Speaker, I'm told a senior executive officer, Mr. Speaker, berated a member of this House for being part of a delegation to go out of the country when this bill is supposed to be debated. And you were not there, Mr. Speaker, I wasn't there. But colleagues who were there are sure that the President was hard on one of the members of this House about traveling. So you can tell that, Mr. Speaker, if we continue like this, the executive and the presidency will be dictating how we will operate as Parliament, and this is terrible.
Why, and it's particularly Senator Murkomen, just why does the President's name have to come up in everything, including where you are not present? You're not present.
I wanted to say the matters raised are very serious. They affect us as an institution, an independent institution, and I'm serious of the matter, and I want you to give me 2 weeks to get all the information and bring a report here on exactly what happened.
President Uhuru Kenyatta today met governors, members of parliament, professionals and elders from the Western region at State House in Nairobi, in a meeting seen as one loaded with political significance. Now, the meeting comes 2 days after ANC leader Musalia Mudavadi announced an alliance with Deputy President William Ruto. Elfas Lagat now reports.
The meeting at State House Nairobi was attended by 4 governors from Western Kenya, members of parliament from Vihiga, Kakamega, Bungoma, Busia and Trans Nzoia, professionals and elders drawn from the region. The agenda to discuss the direction Western Kenya is in the run-up to the elections. A section of leaders privy to the proceedings of the meeting say the forum discussed measures to counter the move by ANC party leader Musalia Mudavadi to enter into an alliance with Deputy President William Ruto. Leaders allied to Raila Odinga's Azimio la Umoja have been associated with the registration of Democratic Action Party (DAPK) that is currently making inroads in Western Kenya. DAPK party leaders Wafula Wamunyinyi and Secretary General Eseli Simiyu have sharply criticized Mudavadi, accusing him of betrayal.
Mheshimiwa Musalia na Mheshimiwa Wetangula, mumetumia vibaya jamii ya Mlembe kwa muda mrefu.
DAPK said Mudavadi isn't sincere in his pledges of reviving the economy. Kalonzo in Makueni Monday downplayed Mudavadi's decision to bolt out of OKA, terming the move as inconsequential.
I think my other friends were causing traffic jam.
President Kenyatta is said to have told the gathering of Western Kenya leaders to unite for the benefit of Kenyans. He also assured leaders that all ongoing national development projects in the region will be completed as scheduled by his administration. Elfas Lagat, Citizen TV, Nairobi.
Well, let's stay with politics, and a section of ANC members of parliament now say that party leader Musalia Mudavadi will not shelve his presidential bid despite entering a unity pact with Deputy President William Ruto. The MPs held a meeting today and declared that Mudavadi remains in the presidential race and will not cede his place to newfound ally DP Ruto. The MP spoke as the Deputy President defended Musalia Mudavadi from blistering attacks from critics who say that Mudavadi's alliance with Ruto was misguided.
This slave mentality that some people believe that Kenyans cannot make their decisions and Kenyans cannot join whatever formation they want out of free will, that they need to ask for permission from certain quarters. That slave mentality must stop in Kenya, and we will break it this year. We will break free this year. Musalia Mudavadi is not a Luhya leader. He is a national leader.
Our party leader Musalia Mudavadi will be going for presidency and nothing else. And therefore, as we form these coalitions, we are making friends who will assist us to actually make Musalia Mudavadi a president of this particular country.
Leaders from the Maasai community met members of the Mount Kenya Foundation earlier today at a consultative forum that resolved to support former Prime Minister Raila Odinga to succeed President Uhuru Kenyatta. The Maa leaders and the Mount Kenya Foundation pledged to roll out robust campaigns to ensure that Odinga's Azimio la Umoja triumphs in elections slated for the 9th of August this year. And as Chemutai Goi now reports, the forum lauded President Kenyatta's Kenya's leadership for calming political temperatures and ensuring peaceful coexistence between communities.
It was a meeting organized by the Mount Kenya Foundation, led by its chairman, Dr. Peter Munga. The meeting, the fourth since the foundation resolved to rally behind ODM leader Raila Odinga's presidential bid.
And also to thank the Ma community, whom we have lived with for time immemorial.
With leaders of the Maasai community taking their turn before the influential Central Kenya business and political lobby group.
We, the Mount Kenya and the Ma community, hereby declare with one accord and finality that we shall together campaign for and elect Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga as the fifth President of the Republic of Kenya.
We are here inspired especially by a shared sense of common destiny. Today, we are here inspired by a common vision, common goals for the future of our people.
I'm sure if we get these people together and they all rally behind the dear ideology of Azimio la Umoja, we will be able to unite our people.
The object of the forum is to solidify Odinga's grassroots support in Ma and Gema homelands, with leaders terming the former Prime Minister a safe pair of hands.
Let's not make a blunder that will cost us heavily. I said, and easy matusi, nilisema, there are those that, if God forbid, should assume the leadership of this country will be put on mortgage.
Hatutaki 51%. Mukirudi nyumbani museme tunataka baba awe na 70%. Ili watu wasikie warudi nyumbani.
There is an undercurrent about Nairobi, that there were people who were dispossessed in 2008. And the feeling is that you can do something about it.
So we need to champion the rights and the aspirations of the people of Kenya, regardless of which ethnic group they belong to.
With the scramble for the Mount Kenya vote intensifying, Maasai leaders urge the Central Kenya region leaders not to waver.
Mwende mshike boma yenu, msibomoe, shikeni boma, sisi tutangangana na yetu. Na tuna support baba, hatuna wasiwasi ngine.
Kupitia Azimio la Umoja, we are pleading with you baba, protect the women who are vying for positions.
Sisi tutaenda mashinani, tutapigania viti zetu, lakini hawa wanaume wasikutukate katikati. Sisi tutajitafutia, na tukijitafutia, baba tupatie nafasi.
Let the people of Kenya unite. That is the basis of our growth and development. And I'm saying it is possible for the Kenyans to unite. Inawezekana. Inawezekana.
For the Ma community, the Mao question and past land historical injustices continue to be one of the biggest selling points for the political class, and ODM leader Raila Odinga too pledging to ensure that this becomes one of his priority agendas if and when he assumes office. Chemutai Goen, Citizen TV, Nairobi.
Members of Parliament allied to Deputy President William Ruto scored a psychological victory against their pro-handshake counterparts when they shot down a motion on the appointment of 7 members to the critical House Business Committee. National Assembly Speaker Justin Muturi was forced to adjourn the sitting but handed the House leadership a lifeline through Standing Order number 49 that allows for a motion seeking to rescind a decision made by the plenary. And as Francis Gashuri now reports, the House leadership was caught flat-footed in a move, if unchanged, could bring the National Assembly's term to a premature end 6 months before the general election.
The first sitting of the last session of the National Assembly.
Order number 8, motion, appointment of members to the House Business Committee.
And what seemed like a routine motion on constitution of the House Business Committee turned out to be the secret weapon for members of Parliament allied to Deputy President William Ruto.
Honorable Speaker, this is a straightforward matter. I would wish to get members to approve this so that we can get to the rest of the business for this session. And the earlier we can do it, the better.
When we have people who already know how the House Business Committee works under your leadership, then it becomes easy. So I think this is a straightforward motion, and I would like to urge my colleagues to support it. I second.
In compliance with Standing Order number 171, the National Assembly leadership had proposed to retain Joyce Emanikor, Shadrack Mose, Kawira Mwangaza, Mohamed Abdikaim Osman, Dr. Makali Mulu, Mishi Mboko and Godfrey Osotsi in the House Business Committee to sit alongside Speaker Justin Muturi, who chairs the critical committee, as well as Majority Leader Amos Kimunya, Minority Leader John Mbadi, Majority Whip Emmanuel Wangwe, and Minority Leader Junet Mohamed.
Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of counter opinion say nay? The nays have it.
A vote that caught Kimunya and the pro-handshake lawmakers off guard in yet another face-off over numerical strength in Parliament.
So, it's just for me, it's just to declare that there will be no business. There cannot be any business because business has to be processed by the House Business Committee. Yes.
Members of Parliament on the verge of exiting the House prematurely, 6 months to the general election. The House Business Committee is responsible for preparing and adjusting the parliamentary calendar, as well as scheduling of the National Assembly's activities. With the motion defeated, Standing Order number 49 kicked in. It bars the tabling of a motion that has similar substance as any question voted for or against in the preceding 6 months.
I think 6 months from today is about it. So, honor members, I think you don't have to wait for the Honorable Chebukati to do anything else. For the time being, I think you have resolved the matter for him, isn't it? Yes. Even though officially you may not sit beyond 60 days to the 9th of August. So, honour members, you have exercised your right.
But the Speaker handed the pro-handshake team a lifeline, inviting the House leadership to seek a sitting as soon as Wednesday afternoon, under Standing Order number 49 too.
Unless they are bringing to me a motion in terms of Standing Order number 49, which is a motion on recession, there may be no need for the House to come. So indeed, you consult. So you consult all our members. So the leadership, please consult with your members and see how best you want us to proceed. Otherwise, we will not be able to do any other business.
If a sitting is held Wednesday afternoon to receive the Tuesday afternoon verdict, a majority of the pro-UDA MPs will be missing in action. They are expected in Nakuru town for the party's first joint public rally with its newfound allies ANC and Ford Kenya. The Tuesday dramatic sitting yet again confirming the high-stakes game of numbers in the August House as the country countdowns to the August 9th general election. Francis Gashuri, Citizen TV.
Away from politics now, and family members who have identified the bodies of their loved ones among the 23 bodies which were recovered from River Yala over the last 3 months will have to wait longer for the release of the bodies after the post-mortem exercise and DNA sample collection exercise planned for Tuesday failed to take off. Now, frustrated family members decried the government's delay in carrying out this exercise. They say that it has caused them mental anguish. The DCI homicide team, which has camped in Yala to conduct investigations into these murders, has retrieved 2 more bodies, which were floating in River Yala on Tuesday, raising the number of bodies retrieved from the river in 2 days to 5.
It is at the Yala Hospital mortuary where the families of the late Philemon Chepkwony and the late Peter Mutoko camped for the better part of Tuesday. Having travelled from Kipkelion and Kangundo, the 2 families expected that they would leave the morgue with the remains of their loved ones after the post-mortem exercise, which was to be conducted on Monday and was postponed to Tuesday. To their shock, they were informed that they will have to wait longer for the release of the bodies.
DCI tukaongea nao, tukaambiwa madaktari wamekuja wafanye postmortem na DNA. Hata wa sasa postmortem DNA hasijafanywa. DCI wamekuja hapa wakafanya vitu vyao wakaenda.
We were requesting for them to do it faster, to collect the samples they need for the DNA, so we can take our brother home and put him to rest.
Motiso tells us they had set aside Friday for the burial after identifying Motoko's body last week.
Hatujui sasa itaisha kesho, DNA itafanywa kesho, postmortem itafanywa kesho ama itafanywa lini. Na unajua nyumbani watu tulikuwa tumepanga mazishi on Friday. Sasa watu nyumbani wanangojea report. Kuna watoto hawaendi shule sababu wanangojea mazishi ya baba yao. Kuna ndugu zake hawaendi kazi kwa sababu walikuwa wamepatiwa ruhusa.
The family members who are undergoing counseling have to wait for the chief government pathologist Johansen Otuor, who is expected to head the postmortem exercise.
Hizo mili za watu wameweka huko, hawajaweka place poa. Tumeenda huko ndani, mamili zimewekwa zimelaliana, so nafikiria serikali yetu tuko wapi? Kweli tuko Kenya?
As human rights activists, is we want to know the cause of death. As you know right now, bodies are appearing everywhere, not just here in Yala.
Yala is not a place to dump bodies.
Yes.
I repeat, game is not a place to dump bodies because River Yala is used by these ladies, these mothers, for cooking, the water is used for cooking and for washing our clothes.
Meanwhile, the DCI homicide team, which is in Yala to probe the mysterious dumping of the bodies, has retrieved 5 bodies which were floating in the river. 3 bodies were retrieved on Monday, while 2 bodies were retrieved later this evening and taken to the Yala Hospital morgue. Interior Cabinet Secretary Fred Matiang'i has appealed to members of the public not to speculate on the cause of death of those found dumped, promising that thorough investigations will be conducted.
So a lot of work is going on. The DCI's forensics team is there, and a very strong homicide team sent down there by the IG is working on this. I would be patient and wait for the report from that team and the IG when that work has been complete. I would not like to speculate on that matter.
25 bodies have so far been recovered from the river over the last 3 months.
All right, and time now for our first break. But remember, when we come back, I run you through a couple more stories. We've got the day's business and sports, and also this, our big interview this evening, 2022, the Western Question. We'll be discussing a lot of what's been happening over the last couple of days with Ayub Savula, the Member of Parliament for Lugari, and Chris Wamalwa, the MP for Kiminini. That's a discussion you don't want to miss. 22422 is the SMS line, and the hashtag is Newsnight. We've got that. These are the stories coming up